Welcome back. We are once again inside the Sister Sense Circle for a Jumpstart Your Business session with yours truly as I talk you through the Positioned to Profit Challenge, a 7-day ready for revenue experience. Now, our agenda for today, and we've been doing this for the last couple of weeks. This is week number 3. Hang out with me. Our agenda for today is to focus on the following: getting positioned, getting clear, getting better, and getting paid. So as part of the Position to Profit Challenge, my goal is that you have the core essentials, the fundamentals in place so that any given week you can increase the probability of you bringing income into your business. A lot of times people struggle with revenue in their business and they think it's something other than the fundamental things when it comes to making sure you've got your payment processes in place, your offers are in place, your customer journeys are in place. There are a lot of things that are fundamental that we are walking through as I talk you through this Position to Profit experience on a week-by-week basis, right? So getting positioned, number one, getting clear about what stands between you and getting paid, because it's not the same for everybody, right? So understanding the gap between you and your revenue. That's something that we talked about last week. Getting better at a couple of things. Number one, getting better at building better, right? Especially faster. We're in a space where with AI, you can build and create amazing things in minutes and not months. Getting better at building better, getting better at your visibility, having people consistently see that you are and should be their go-to person, and essentially getting better at getting paid, right? So that you are bringing in actual revenue into your business on a week-by-week basis. So hopefully you have participated in our session so far. If not, you can catch the replays, number one. And of course, number two, the self-paced Position to Profit Challenge literally is ready and waiting for you. So my business besties in the Academy, you can always log into our Titan Academy to see what's new. And of course, those of you who are in the larger Sister Sense Circle, I'm sure that you have gotten either an email or you're on a page where the Position to Profit links and details are already in there for you, okay? So welcome. Awesome to see you guys coming on into the virtual building. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Sasha. Welcome. As you guys are coming on in here, I'm going to share the core question of today, and it's simple. Is your offer built to sell, right? And that's the thing. A lot of people, and I remember back in the day, I've been doing this for 20 plus years, a lot of people would say you got to build a passion project, a product that is built on your passion, but not every passion project is built to sell, right? In order for it to be that kind of BTS experience for your potential customers, BTS, of course, built to sell, it is something that has an obvious outcome. Is it easy for people to buy? Is it what I call a straw? Now, I want you to think about straws, okay? I want you to think about straws and how often you see them, how often you use them. They are common. They are popular. They make lots and lots of money, right? So I want you to think about these questions for yourself, and we're going to dig deeper into these questions as we go through our session today, okay? Now, leaning into this whole concept of a straw, I am going to break this down for you, Sister Sense style, okay? The built to sell straw, okay? It's not the whole ocean. It's not everything in the kitchen sink. It's one problem solved the right way, right now, so that it's easy to grab and easy to use. If it needs explaining, it's too big, okay? You know what a straw is. You grab it, you buy it, you use it. It's very clear. Now, a lot of people are putting offers out there that are not very straw-like in nature, okay? They don't clearly solve something that people want, And I always say to clients, if you're not converting, I know you're hurting. So optimizing conversions for me means that we need to strategically take a look at what you are creating. Built to sell straws solve a clear problem with say it in a simpler way. Okay? Sometimes you have this thing that you want to sell and it's so amazing. The concept is very rich, but how you articulate that to people, how you excuse me, how you literally position your offer sometimes has people going, I get it, but I don't get it. Or it sounds great, but I don't know if I need it. I don't know if that's for me. Or this is kind of over my head. I don't know if I can do this thing, right? And of course, the challenge with that is confused buyers don't buy. And so I wanted to create a space where we can, again, logistically strip away at all the complexities so that you can work on your best built to sell offers with ease. Now, leaning into this conversation, what I want to do is to get you in a space where you're thinking to yourself, what am I actually selling? Is my offer too complicated? Is my offer trying to do too much, right? It's kind of like that, what do you call it? Oh my God, it's not a switchblade. It's not a switchblade. Um, it's those, oh my gosh, like the name is on the tip of my tongue.
Swiss Army knife.
Yes, the Swiss Army knife, right? With all the things, all the bells, all the whistles. Is it trying to do so much? Too much. Thank you for that. Could this be simpler? Could this be easier to buy? Now, here's the thing, right, about the whole Swiss Army knife situation. I have some offers that are really big. They are big Bertha's baby. But what I will tell you is that when it comes to those offers and me, they're deeper into my ecosystem. And I want to say that because I don't want you to think that out of the gates, every offer has to be a straw, because that's not how the world works, right? There's a time and a place for that kind of offer, but then at some point you want to have things that are bigger, deeper, and Bertha-esque, right? It's just a time and a place for everything is something that I want you to keep in mind, especially if you find you are trying to reach new people, okay? New people who don't know you, who don't trust you. They need something to get them into the door and coming back for more. A front door offer, a straw, is that kind of a thing, okay? So I want this to be a kind of conversation where you realize there's not just a one and done situation where it's like, oh, scrap everything that I've done. I need to just simplify and just do that one, right? This is about working on, hey, Rashawn, welcome. This is about working on an ecosystem that is diverse. However, there's a clear front door, a clear customer journey, right? And we're literally into the part of our Sister Sense Circle this year where we are working on creating essentially a customer journey that starts off with a low ticket offer suite leading into what I call the $100 winner. And then there you're going into your mid ticket and your higher tier premium offers. All right. So just to kind of give you that larger customer journey, but logistically how the straw offer fits into that ecosystem. Okay. Now, with that being said, is your offer built to sell? This is important because the reality is better offers beat more content, right? And I know because I am an overgiver by nature. And so sometimes it's not easy for me to strip away at all the complexities and, ooh, let me put this in and put this in, put this in, so that it's clear and it's simple, which is why this for me is such an important conversation, right? Because I know that as an overgiver or type A a big, beautiful bundle lover. When you want to, especially when you want to work with new people and a cold audience, you want to get better at creating offers, right, that work to convert more customers, right? Because at the end of the day, if all you're doing is creating a ton of content, but your content is not converting, what do I say? If it ain't converting, I know you hurting, right? Better offers beat more content. It's not just about let me go on social media and create a ton of content because then I'm gonna magically get viral. There's a lot of people who go viral and they're broke. Okay, so that's not what we're looking for. Better positioning beats more posting, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I see there, and here's the thing. I do not post every day, okay? I don't post like 15, 11 times a day. I see people who do that, and they still have less than 1,000 followers. Just posting more doesn't guarantee visibility, virality, none of that, right? There's more to it. And I want you to strategically look at the people who you follow. There are some people with very huge followings that really don't make money, and they have 9-to-5s, and they do this on the side, but, it kind of balances out for them. And there are some people with very small followings, and they post obsessively, and they don't really grow the way they would like to because they don't know how to, right? Building better, getting better at building better does require some degree of balance through strategy, right? Better clarity beats more traffic. So it's not just about getting more people to see your stuff. Last year, I made just about the same amount as I did the year before with, I want to say, about 30% less customers. These last couple of years, the digital marketing space has changed. What people are buying, how they're buying, what they're willing to try, all the things has changed. And being in a space where you learn how to, as one of my clients said to me, Maya, she said, girl, you the unicorn. She said, I need to give you your flowers right now because a lot of people who started with us are not still with us, right? Whether they've just closed their doors or they've done that, pivoted, and gotten a full-time job, not knocking any of it, but these times are different times, which means you got to keep up with the times and go beyond them if you want to sustain and create something that is sustainable and also something that is profitable long-term. Better clarity beats more traffic. You don't need a bunch of eyes to generate the kind of revenue that is going to work for you. Let's pressure test your offers. That's what we are going to lean into today, okay? Pressure testing your offers and figuring out what is working, what's not working, what can work, okay? Food for thought. So, again, this matters right now because different times, different economy, all the things. Buyers spend differently these days, right? Attention is fragmented. It's funny because I'm a pioneer in this game. I started 20 plus years ago. The idea of shopping online was foreign. The idea of digital content creators, influencers, those things didn't freaking exist, right? Entrepreneurship was like, ew, why are you doing that? Go get a real job. Now, everybody is an entrepreneur and or trying to pivot into that space because so many other spaces are not what they used to be, right? AI raised expectations. What does that mean? Outside of a lot of AI this and AI that replacing people on one level or another, it's also created a space where those of us who are still here and or winning or both, right, are in a space where you have to get better at creating better, right? There are several people who, back in the day, they could easily say they could create a course for $2,000 and sell it with their eyes closed, right? Them days is gone, right? If you really want to step up and convert, you have to get better at building better things because there's a trust recession. People are skeptical. I always say skeptical. Skeptical is, you know what? I'm not even going to try. I feel like I feel like tongue-tied when I say it with y'all. People are more skeptical about where they're putting their dollars. At the end of the day, people are really trying to stretch things. And people have tried a lot of things, and they're like, listen, I am really trying to be smarter about what I invest in and how I work, which is all legitimate, right? Which means that you got to come with your A game. Competition is competitioning. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is in a space where they are, to some degree, competing with people who used to not be in this space anymore. Like, it's funny because I've been working out. I'm 105 days working out every single day, right? Yay! Congrats to me, right? And it's funny because I was watching this girl, and she was talking about her apron belly. If you know what an apron belly is. And she was like, here, I'm going to show you the routine that I puts together to get rid of my apron belly. And by the way, if you want my routine, if you want my diet, if you want this, that, you can go here, right? And it's like, I thought to myself, everybody's a personal trainer now. Like, this was a regular person. They lost weight, and then now she's a personal trainer. I'm not knocking it, but what I'm saying is everybody got the hustle, right? Get your hustle on. And so you need to be in a place where you understand that getting better at positioning yourself for profit is going to require you to get better at building better. And a big part of that is clarity. If you're not clear about what it is that you're trying to sell, it's not going to convert well. It's just not. So we are going to go through the 3 lenses. As you know, I am a prompt kind of a girl, so I have created what I call my CC prompts. CC is my AI-powered clarity coach. But before I get into CC, what I wanted to do was to break down the 3 lens prompts for you. What is Prin doing? What is he doing? Hold on, y'all. 1 second. My dog. They are like, what is it, like eternal 3-year-olds? Like, what are you doing back there? What are you looking for? Are you hungry? Do you want a snack? You want a snack? Okay. Y'all, I'm pausing because Prin is searching the ends of the earth for a pepperoni. So if you hear her barking, she's barking at her food. I don't know why she does that, but that's a whole other story. Number 1, what are you selling? Do you fit which category? And are you right about the category that you fit? Okay? So the first one here, lens number 1, is SCE. People buy solutions. May seem like a no-brainer, obvious, but it's not obvious. People buy things that are going to help them solve their challenges. They buy convenience, right? My neighbor, me and I don't do this, right? I just sit on my porch and I work, right? I have a whole series, How I Get Paid on My Porch. But the hubby, he comes out and he people watches, right? So he's like, they got Uber Eats. I'm like, yes, they did. And so I don't know. I'm not knocking nobody who gets Uber Eats, but it is kind of pricey. But people pay for convenience. And they'll pay an extra $20, $30 so they don't have to leave the house, right? It's a thing, right? Experiences. People pay for experiences, literally. I've had ladies say to me, coming to your in-person event, my wee little in-person event with like 7 ladies is like, girl, that's on my bucket list, right? Because I've created an experience that women within my circle like to experience. And they come back and they tell their friends and they bring their friends and all the things. So you need to think about for yourself when you're creating an offer, which bucket does this primarily fall under? And then secondary, right? Solutions, convenience, experience. There's always going to be a primary one, and then the other ones kind of fall underneath that, right? Interestingly enough, the 3 lens prompt, which I absolutely love, I was like, I created an experience with Position to Profit. And after I did the prompt, it was like, no, this is a solution, right? For people who are struggling with getting paid, figuring out where the struggle is and fixing it. It's more a solution than an experience. It's like a solution masked as an experience, right? So the prompt in itself is very, very telling. But even if you don't have access to it and you're just here to get clear about where you are with creating built to sell offers, how clear are you around if what you're selling is a solution, convenience, experience, or something else, right? What about this makes people not go, oh, that's interesting, to, oh, shoot, I need that today. This is going to help me solve a problem. This is going to make my life easier. This is an experience that I don't want to miss, right? I actually missed, because I just had too much going on, Disney at night. My son just graduated, and the plan was for me to go with him and a few friends, but he went, so he's got lots of great photos, and I'm more so happy that he went than anything else. But it's an experience going to Disney at night, going to Universal, and how the park is during the day versus in the evening. It's a whole thing, right? And so you kind of have to think about that. What makes your offer stand out amongst the competition, especially these days when everybody and their mama is an entrepreneur and getting their hustle on, right? What makes what you're doing stand out? Hey, Shar. Hey, Liana. I see you guys coming on in. Awesome. So today is really about thinking about your existing offers. Are they built to sell, number one? And or if you're going to create new offers, are you creating something that is positioned to be profitable, okay? Wealth, health, and relationships. I'm sure you all know this, and if you don't know, now you know. People buy things that help them get wealthy, healthy, and better at relationships, whether there are core relationships that are love, family, interpersonal work skills, health, wealth, relationships, right? You need to figure out where your offer fits in that ecosystem, but it is going to specifically help people with their buyer expectations. Painkiller versus vitamin. May not be familiar with this. Some of these, like the straw concept that I shared a few minutes ago, are literally me. And when I was defining painkiller versus vitamin, I thought to myself, back when I was a Brooklyn girl living in New York, one day my hubby and I were walking in Manhattan, and I looked on the floor and I saw all of these Tylenol wrappers. And what it turned out, somebody was giving them, I don't know who, what company or whatever, they were like giving out samples, and people were just like popping them dry. You know what I'm saying? They were like popping them and just throwing the little sample paper on the floor. And I couldn't help but laugh, because it's like no water, no nothing. Y'all beasted it. But, yo, New Yorkers don't play. So I can imagine every other person is like, girl, the migraine is migrated, right? And when you create things, as much as I love vitamins, the reality is that most people are looking for the painkiller, the thing that is going to help them with that very painful thing that they will pay anything to fix. As much as we know vitamins are good for us, there are a lot of vitamins that sit on the shelf because we're not just looking for the good thing, right? Oh, I know that's good for me. Let me go buy it. Let me jump on that. We're looking for the things that help us with immediate pain. What hurts today? What gets delayed? What gets purchased? Which one are you? Creating something that's a vitamin, it's valuable, it's useful, it'll help them to some degree, but baby, it's not a painkiller. And so you think about right now in the economic climate that we are in, where people literally with budgets and inflation are like, no spend. I'm not spending money on that damn thing other than the essentials, right? Versus people who they have a surplus of income, and that's great, but that's not everybody. And there are a lot of, if you live in the States, there are a lot of Americans who are like looking at their budgets differently, which means that you have to approach them differently. You can't just give them things where it's like, ooh, maybe I'll get that. You know, again, I mentioned before, back in the day selling $2,000 courses, yeah, that's great, that's easy, right? People look at their expendable income very differently, especially in this economy, number one. but then you're also competing with other people in the entrepreneurship space as well as with AI. So you got to try to get better at building better. If you know, you know, okay? Now, what I'm going to do before I move any further here is two things. I see you guys coming on in, so I want to reset. When it comes to figuring out if your offer is built to sell, does it meet the criteria of lens 1, 2, and 3? Solution, convenience, experience, which of these? Wealth, health, relationships, what are your buyer expectations? Painkiller versus vitamin, does it really help them with something that they are significantly or noticeably wanting to get some sort of solution, resolution, results around? And lens 4, you sell the after. What does that mean? You sell the after. This is not about, I'm going to give you 15 things in the kitchen sink. This is not about the deliverables you're giving, the modules you're giving, the features you're giving. It's about the outcome. Sell the good night's sleep and not the mattress. They care about the good night's sleep. They don't care about the whatever's inside the damn mattress. Okay? Are you hitting these when it comes to creating the kind of offer that your potential customers and clients or existing customers or clients are looking for? Okay? I'm going to show you the prompts, but the first thing is to think about the points within the process that you need to be aware of. All right? Now, I'm going to mosey on over to offer audits. There are several of them, but first I wanted to kind of give you a sense of logistically what I'm talking about so that you can even right now, you can think about how aware you are of what you've created and how well you've marketed it to others so that they understand the value in what you've created, okay? Now, I'm going to do two things. Number one, hold on, quick power pause. So as you know, to help you grow, I have the Titan Academy. Quite a few of you are in the Academy. If you're not, no worries. I got you. So first thing that I'm going to do is just kind of go through some of the new goodies that are in the Academy. Position to Profit is both a 7-day challenge and a full program. So there are 2 levels to Position to Profit. We're going through the 7-day program. This is the 3rd week I've done PTP trainings with you all, right? Then there's Pictures to Post, where you can strategically turn pictures into posts and not have to worry about your content marketing on social media platforms. Right now is all about copy. Why? Because one of the things that I try to do is to create resources that are going to better support you. My client said, you know what, LaShonda, do you have something specific on copy? I said, I got you, right? So all my copy prompts are inside of copy. Built to sell, we're talking about that today, when you intentionally create lead magnets, low ticket offers, and beyond that are built to convert your people, right? So inside of Position to Profit, now if you came through my inbox, then in that email there is a link to start Position to Profit, and if you want to unlock the challenge, you can, but you can check that out if you want to, optional. My goal today is to break down the fundamentals of creating better offers. Inside of Position to Profit, day number 3, because so far we've done 2 previous sessions. We talked about day 1 and day 2. This one is Get Focused, and there are several prompts. There's the 3 lens, which we just talked about. I'm going to copy it and show you what this looks like. The front door, which is the straw. Like, creating a front door means creating an entry offer that someone goes, oh, what's this over here? Okay, I like that. I want to buy it. Then all of a sudden now they're in your ecosystem. They're an actual buyer. They're an actual customer. You can then introduce them to even bigger and better things that you have, right? Is your offer a front door offer? Is your offer sellable? What's the transformation that you're offering them, right? These are some of the prompts that are here, and again, that's underneath day number 3. I think, Liana, you said you're on day 4, right? Not sure if you've gone past day 4. But this is self-paced, so you can kind of bounce around and do whichever of these days make sense to you, right? Now, let me make sure that I copy this. I'm going to go over to my AI platform of choice, which is ChatGPT, so that you can see the process of not just knowing these lenses, but going back and forth and getting clarity around your offer. Because what you think it is, it might not be that, or there might be a better way to position and describe your offer that you're missing, because you're only looking at it from your lens and you don't see how you can discuss it in potentially a different way. Okay, so let me mosey on over to ChatGPT, like so, like that. And then, ooh, am I recording? I am. Okay. Woo. Sometimes I pause it and then I forget to hit record again. My prompts are Big Bertha prompts. You don't want to sit there and read them because they're dissertations. You just basically want to copy them right in. Okay? Copy it, put it in. All right. Hey, I'm Cece. Welcome to the 3-Day Lens. What is the offer we are diagnosing? Name plus 1-line description. I'm going to give it my pictures to post prompt. And let's grab pictures to post real quick. So if we're in the academy, pictures to post. Pictures to post. Turn your photos and ideas into post-worthy visuals. That's the 1 sentence. So I'm just going to grab that. There is a 1-sentence prompt, which also is helpful when it comes to your offers. If you're somebody who can be long-winded like me, being able to quickly describe what it is that you're selling in 1 clean sentence is definitely helpful. So just going to pop that in there like so, like that. So the offer we are diagnosing is pictures to post. Who is it for? Not a demographic. Describe the actual person. I create a lot of content for entrepreneurs, especially busy entrepreneurs. And my goal was to help busy entrepreneurs on a budget create graphic content for social media without having to think and obsess about what to create. And those pictures become strategic posts. Perfect. Let me play that back to you. The buyer is a busy entrepreneur who knows they need to post, has photos, but does not want to spend hours figuring out what to create. What do they currently pay for instead of this? What do they currently pay for instead of this? I mean, some of them pay for content creators and VAs to do the work for them. Some of them pay for trainings, but then never do the work that's in the trainings. I'm specifically talking about the ones who struggle, because obviously if they don't struggle, they wouldn't need what I've created. Some of them pay for tools, like a bunch of like content creation tools or AI tools, but then never actually use them to create the content because they don't know how to use the tools to create the content. It's just like a never-ending vicious thing. So again, what I'm doing here is going through the process because, yes, you like any other webinar, you can sit down and listen to somebody break down a concept to you. It's different when you have someone to coach you through. And so with CC prompts, oftentimes you'll hear me say, when you can't ask me, ask CC, so that you can essentially go through a series of questions that can offer a degree of clarity that otherwise the webinar just doesn't do, right? There's only but so much I can say to you before you have to experience it for yourself, right? So what I'm hearing is instead of buying pictures to post, they're already spending money on tools, templates, subscriptions, but they still struggle to consistently turn their ideas and photos into content. In other words, the problem is not access to tools, the problem is implementation. What is your best guess for why pictures to post is not converting yet, or why you feel nervous about launching or promoting it? I haven't promoted it yet. LOL, I haven't promoted it yet. I just created it with the need of offering this to busy entrepreneurs. So it currently lives as a new tool inside of my Titan Academy. That's a very different situation than an offer that has already been promoted and isn't converting. What I'm hearing is it's a new offer. It's not been actively promoted. The question is more, how should I position it so people immediately understand why they need it? Yes, that's the question. All right, so let's move into lens one, solution, convenience, experience. If you had to choose just one, which of these, what are you primarily selling? For me, I would say primarily a solution. You go through the prompts, and at the end, you have pictures, you post them. There you go. Now, those of you who are here, I always say, y'all in the academy, y'all in position to profit, put that prompt in and just run with it. So it's kind of like co-working sessions where we're working through it together. Those of you who are not, you can kind of see logistically what you should be asking or thinking about when it comes to the first question. Because there are 4 core prompts for this whole built to sell conversation around your lens, around your front door, around auditing your offer to see if you can improve it more to increase sales. There are 4 prompts for day number 3, okay? So you don't necessarily have to just kind of sit here and go through the prompt with me. You can actually put the prompt in right now and do it as I'm doing it, okay? I can see why you chose solution, but I want to push on it a little. And that's the thing. You want to create a space where you're working with someone, or in this case, my AI-powered CC, that is not just going to say, hey, oh, my God, that idea is great. Yay, run with it. It's going to challenge you. It's going to challenge you to go beyond just on the surface level what you're saying sounds good, right? The question is, what are they actually paying to have solved? When I listen to you describe pictures to post, I don't immediately hear, I have a problem and this solves it. I hear, I have photos, ideas, tools, Canva trainings, but I still don't have a post. That's slightly different. So before we lock in the solution, let's get more specific. Before pictures to post, my buyer is stuck because, and after pictures to post, they can finally fill in the blank. Okay, so even for someone like myself, I use these prompts. By the way, prompts that I give to you, these are things that I use myself before I give them to you, right? Because we all need a degree of clarity, and sometimes what we think out of the gates is what it's supposed to be. It could be better, right? My buyer is stuck because they know they want to create content, but they're still not creating the kind of content or enough content that they want to see, right? Like, this is the kind of person who is on social media, Instagram, TikTok, all the things, and they are bookmarking every damn thing like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. And then ultimately when they're ready to, or think they're ready to post, they can't go back to all the bookmarks, and they're just kind of stuck in analysis paralysis because they still don't know what to post, right? They can finally, with pictures to post, they can finally sit down, come up with something, and then post it. Just that simple. Like, not spend 3 hours just, I wouldn't say doom scrolling, but researching and planning and prepping and feeling like they did a whole lot of nothing. Actually doing a series of tasks within a few minutes or under an hour where the content is created and able to be posted. And here's the thing, again, I am a deep thinker, long-winded girl, baby. And so CC is going to simplify it for me in a way that it's like, that's what I'm saying, right? Based on what you just said, I don't think the core problem is I need content. I keep consuming content about content, but I still don't post. So I think it may actually be a convenience offer. See, look. This is where I'm like, dun, dun, dun. And this always happens to me. So I'm like, I'm creating a solution in an experience. And CC is like, no, this is about convenience, right? This is actually a convenience thing. It shows you a different perspective to looking at what you've created. Now, I'm going to do one more, but then I'm going to pause on this because there's so much more that I want you to see, okay? But the thing about it is sometimes it's not that what you've created isn't good enough to sell the way you want it to. Sometimes it's how you are positioning that offer. I'm going to give you a great example of this. I remember many years ago watching a documentary about Lego. Back in the day, Legos were just Legos, right? Legos were just these little colorful blocks and you put them together and you stack them and you make cute things. But then guess what? Legos were 2 steps away from going out of business, kind of like Toys R Us. And then they got a complete and total rebrand. And now every brand is partnering with Lego because you could create Lego Star Wars. You could create Lego this, Lego that. People, baby, I think Chloe Bailey, I know Halle Berry, not Halle Berry, the 2 sisters, I think they're on Growness. Chloe Bailey, she loves Legos, and I watch her on Instagram, and she built this whole beautiful piano out of Legos. Like, when my kid was a kid, I was buying Legos so he could create all these cool things beyond the traditional ones, right? But they learned how to reposition themselves in a way that made them a straw, just made them out of the gates a sustainable, thriving business, and that's what you want, right? So why? Because the pain you're describing isn't lack of knowledge. The buyer already has ideas, photos, bookmarks, Canva, tools. What they don't have is a fast path from idea, visual to post. And if pictures to post disappeared, what painful process would your buyer have to go back to? Walk me through the old process step by step. Okay, long story short, it's I feel like it's a long process. Because let's say, for example, you want to post something on Instagram, right? You have to figure out what to post. Is it a video? Is it an image? Is it text? If it's any of these, what actually are you going to put into it? Are you pulling from your B-roll? Do you even know what the hell B-roll is? Do you have photos? Do you have videos? Then you're looking at other people's stuff like, oh, this person is so cool. They did photo shoots, and I wish I had the money and the time to do the photo shoot. Then you're like, what? Okay, I know I want to post something, and I saw a couple of things last week that I saved. Then you go back and you're scrolling through your bookmarks, and you're like, okay, I don't know. I don't think it was this. I don't think it was this. I don't think it was this. Then you find the thing, and you're like, okay, well, how do I do this post? How do I create this post? And by the time you're done, it's like on to the next one as far as your to-do list, because this is just taking too damn long, right? So can somebody else do it for me? All the things, all the thoughts. It's just a process. I think that one of my favorite words is rhythm, because when it comes to content marketing and content creation, if you don't have a rhythm, or you're not a creative person that doesn't mind just spending hours and hours and hours creating things, it's a struggle to take a finite amount of time, do something strategically and intentionally, knock it out and put it out. Whereas with Pictures to Post, you do the prompt, you answer the questions, it builds the image, you get the caption, the hook, and everything, and in minutes, you have something you could post. So the process is different. I love to use the voice memo dictation, by the way. For me, of all of the platforms, AI platforms, ChatGPT's voice memo is the best. Before Pictures to Post, the buyer has to make dozens of content decisions: what to post, what to format, where to find the inspiration, what to write, what tool, whether it's good enough. Every one of those decisions creates friction. Pictures to Post just creates content. It removes the decision fatigue. Now, what's funny about that is decision fatigue is real. And sometimes people don't buy your stuff because they've got decision fatigue, or even my stuff, because they're like, okay, I could do this, I could do this, I could do that. They get exhausted. They're like, I'll come back to it tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes, right? So stripping away at the things that make it harder for someone to say, I want to purchase this thing from you, is essentially the secret sauce, right, that we're leaning towards. So before I close lens one, I want to clarify the convenience. What would you say your buyer saves most? Time, mental energy, consistency, creative confidence? I would say time is the biggest thing. And then being able to get certain results in less time builds confidence, creative confidence. Now, mind you, it said lens one, okay? There are several lenses, and I spoke to you about them. This is just lens one, right? So this is really a good in-depth look at how you perceive your offer to how the offer can be positioned in a better way to communicate what it does to your audience, okay? The answer I was looking for, because now we're getting underneath the feature. The feature is turn photos and ideas into post-ready visuals. But the thing they're actually buying is save time creating content and feel confident that what you're posting is good enough to publish. Right now, your offer reads as a solution, but the buyer is primarily paying for convenience. Lens gap number one. Right now, your offer reads as content creation solution, but the buyer is paying for a faster path to polished ideas, right? What does that mean? That means I can adjust my marketing better, clearer, more polished to fit that pain. Like, how many hours do you stress about content and then you still don't create the damn content? Right? And being able to position it in a better way just helps. Now, I'm not going to go into lens number two. I'm just telling you that right now. Because, again, I wanted to walk you through the depth of these lenses, right? What are you selling? Where does it fit? Is it a painkiller versus a violet? I just did lens one. Are you selling the after end result, or are you focused on saying, well, my offer includes 4 of this, 3 of this, 2 of this, 20 of that, and nobody cares, right? The harsh reality is they don't care, because what they really want is the outcome, and that's not clear enough up front to better help you convert, right? Building something that is built to sell. So for me, there are several audits that you can use to figure out the positioning gap. The gap is what you're missing between where you are and the money, right? Clarify the buyer payoff and choose the next fix. The 3 lens prompt, what are people really buying? That's the one that I was doing. The front door, is this the right first offer? You're looking for something that you're trying to promote and get new people into your ecosystem. What's the right front door offer for your business? Offer sellability. How sellable is this offer? Is it sellable or not, right? Transformation, is the outcome clear? Now, for some reason, some of my, I don't know why, some of my letters have disappeared here. Yeah, is it clear? Is it visible? Where they can clearly see that this outcome is for me. Now, you know, if you've ever heard the term burying the lead, what I did was I think I oversimplified what Pictures to Post does, right? Oh, it's a solution to help you create content. Oh my God, no, it's so much more than that, right? It's so much more than that. And so I want you to think about that, because again, you may be locked into talking about your offer or offers a certain way, and they may not resonate the way you would like them to, because the positioning isn't working for you. The messaging isn't working for you, okay? And the thing about it is, I haven't necessarily, y'all are actually going to be the first people who see Pictures to Post, because this is new inside of the Academy Hub. But before even sharing it, being able to have that kind of assessment is golden, because you know out of the gates there's a better way. Now, I'm going to go back over to this prompt real quick, right? Let's move to lens 2. Every offer that sells at scale plugs into one of 3 micro categories. Which one do you believe? Okay, before we get into lens 2, let me ask you a question. Out of curiosity, if you were to describe Pictures to Post for me in one sentence, the original sentence I gave you or a revised sentence? I just want to, out of curiosity, see you revise my one sentence messaging, and then I'll get into lens 2. All right, so your original version, Pictures to Post turns your photos into ideas. and ideas into post-ready visuals you can use in your business. Pictures to Post helps busy entrepreneurs turn photos, ideas, and unfinished content into strategic social media posts they can create and publish in minutes. Or if you're leaning harder for convenience, Pictures to Post help busy entrepreneurs stop wondering what to post and turn their photos and ideas into ready-to-share content in minutes. So the angling is different, right? Or it's a faster path from idea to published content without spending hours researching, designing, and second-guessing what you post or what to post. That last one feels really heavy-hitter emotional for me, but it changes the messaging without me having to come up from it out of the gates. Because that's the thing. Otherwise, you may know that you have to consider these lenses. That's why I always say things are easier said than done. You know that you have to consider if you're offering solution, experience, or convenience, but do you really know if that's what you're offering? You know that you need to think about the buyer expectation and are you selling health, wealth, or relationships, but you got to go deeper into that. And how deep are you going into that in a way that articulates clearly what you're selling to someone who actually wants to buy it, right? Definitely food for thought. Now, there are these 4 lenses. I would say these 2 right here are the 2 that are awesome to start with. You can use as many as you want, but of course it's self-paced and you can go back to it as often as you want. One of the things that I want to be able to do with this series is to motivate you not just to plan and brainstorm, but to actually build, right? So building your credibility, building your visibility, building your customer base by teaching what you know. You can create infographics, proving your points. You can create these beautiful sticky note images, promoting by strategically letting people know what you have, and showcasing your ideas in carousel format, which are those multi-image slides that people slide through and review your content, right? So what you'll notice is that, excuse me, every day inside of Position to Profit, you have your prompts, but you also have your promotion. And if you look, this is a sticky note prompt. This is actually AI. It's made to look like me with a prompt that says, people only buy solutions, convenience, and experiences. What are you selling? Now, there are 2 types of things that I'm talking about when it comes to AI, brainstorming and building. And when it comes to you actually building images, right, you don't always have to pull from the images you have. AI can help you generate some pretty cool images. And I've done the heavy lifting of coming up with different styles so that you don't have to, right? When you go to promos, the sticky note graphic is this one here. Whether you're in or you want it to be faceless and not have you in the image, this is one of the prompts that you can use. And then, of course, those of you in the Academy can actually start to test out Pictures to Post pre-launch. I always have things in the Academy because every month I'm building new tools for you guys, but then I will independently sell them to other entrepreneurs who want the resource but are not in our community. So if I go to prompts, right, and I go to teach, so you see the sticky note prompt is here. The handwritten infographic prompt is another one. And then you have POV scenes. There are a lot of prompts in here. I'm going to show you the handwritten infographic prompt, okay? And I'm going to go over to ChatGPT real quick, like that. I'm going to go over to images. Because in the interest of time, I didn't want to have to sit here and go through all the questions, right? But essentially, I said, listen, this is what I'm talking about. Help me create a handwritten prompt, right? And it did. Otherwise, you would have to actually do this and write in a notebook and take a picture, or open up Canva and have it design something for you. This is just an example. Now, there are times when I work with clients who don't necessarily want to have their photos in their branding. And so something that's faceless as an infographic in some form of a notebook, here's an example of that, number one. And then number two, I also leaned into creating versions of these where I was actually in photo, right? Before you create more content, products, promotions, ask yourself, is your offer built to sell, right? Get better at building better. And again, this looks like me because it's based on a reference photo of me. And oftentimes, if you guys come out to my events, you know that there are certain colors that I love to wear, like my combination of green and mustard, gold, yellow. You know, even though purple is a part of my brand images, I don't necessarily wear a lot of purple. But getting the look and feel that I wanted, so that it's consistent, is what I basically did. And these are all built in ChatGPT using the handwritten prompts, right? I'm going to do another prompt so that I can show you several of them. One of the prompts we did was the credibility builder, right? So you can basically create prompts where you are teaching people, before you create something new, identify what's standing between you and getting paid. You can teach people, have your photo, you can have your messaging, and you can post that, right? So the idea here is whether it's Position to Profit, because Position to Profit has daily picture to post prompts underneath promos, right? Whether you have the prompts that are in Position to Profit or the full collection, you don't have to think about it. You just put it in, you create something, the AI builds it for you. Now you can build pictures out of the gates, you can build pictures in Gemini and ChatGPT. If you have the right connectors, you can do them with Claude, but Claude does not out of the gates automatically create images for you, okay? Just letting you know. But it will, if you use the prompt, it will give you the images, or rather it will give you a prompt description that you could then use in other platforms. And so I built out quite a few of these prompts based on very, very popular posts, so that you don't have to keep scrolling, right, for hours and hours. So let's go over to this list, and I am going to do, I showed you guys the sticky note one, and I showed you guys the handwritten one. You know the one I want to do? I want to do promote. Pain point. A pain point post engineered for comment bait conversations and DM delivery. So I'm going to copy this one. Sometimes you want to work on teaching, showing your credibility, showcasing what works, your testimonials, your clients. Depending upon your end goal, it may vary which prompts you use, right? But I do want to show you visuals, so I'm going to do the promote one, specifically pain point plus comment yes. Now, one of the things, let me say, is this is so brand spanking new, baby. Like, it's only in the Academy. But each of these will have photos, because I'm building up the collection of reference photos, so that you don't just see the description, but you can see, like, the photos connected to each of them. I love these. I absolutely love these. When I was doing sticky notes and I was doing branded images, I created these with me and Prin and, you know, the green and the gold, all using these prompts and ChatGPT. But let's go back over to ChatGPT, and if you have a question for me, let me know. I'm basically going to start a new chat just to show you what this looks like. And like I said, my chats, my prompts are very, very detailed, so it's like a dissertation. Don't read the mini dissertation, just copy it in and go. All right. So welcome to the comment yes. Quick builds, 3 to 4 questions, or full builds. Let's just do a quick build. All right. So what free or low ticket asset are you trusting the DM to deliver? Who is the person commenting yes? What's the pain statement and the accent colors? Answer all 4 questions. Okay, can I do this relatively quickly? Let's go to my browser. Let's go to Position to Profit, the free version, because I'd probably send them here to Position to Profit. And maybe it can pull from this. Let me grab the link as well. I doubt you need the link, but I guess I would want to send them to Position to Profit. The biggest pain point is the gap. There's a gap between you and getting paid and trying to figure out what that is, so that you can create predictability so that revenue is coming into your business on a week-by-week basis. Does not know if that answers all your questions, but hopefully between this and the 2 screenshots, it's a good start. Don't know if you need the URL. And then just showing the screenshots real quick, because then that way I don't really have to describe everything. Message approval. Women entrepreneurs who are working, posting, building, but still don't know exactly what's standing between them and getting paid consistently. 5 variations. My recommendation for this particular offer, I think the strongest image is this. Which version do you use? I want to go with your strongest version. So then it says it's going to generate the final hook, the caption, the CTA, and the image prompt. Okay. So it did give me design direction. It did give me an image prompt. All right. I'll probably want to tweak this, but first out of the gates, create the image. Let me just see what you create out of the gates, and then I'll go from there. So it will give you an image prompt. If you want to put that prompt into Canva, Midjourney, Gemini, somewhere else you can. I personally build all my images, or a good percentage of them, just directly inside of ChatGPT. The new image builder that they released like last month has just basically changed the game. But then of course not everybody is into Chat, so there are other platforms you can use. It's just, again, the goal is to create something simple, right? So you don't have a money problem, you have a gap problem. Comment yes, and I'll send it, right? So that then I can send them details about how to fix the gap, right? Clean, simple, branded. Now, I'm gonna go a step further. I'm gonna give it a reference photo. I like that. Thank you. I'm going to give it a reference photo of myself, literally from one of my events here in North Carolina. By the way, the next one is in October, so if you're curious, check in, and I'll send you the details. I really like it. It's clean, it's branded, it's to the point. I'm curious about adding myself in the picture because I'm conceited, LOL. What do you think? If we were to put me in this picture somehow, could you give me an image prompt? that matches this aesthetic, or I don't know. I'm not even going to go too far into trying to figure it out. I'm going to let you do it. So depending upon the style of prompt, what it gives you does vary. There are certain prompts that give you certain styles. But I always try to keep balance, because some people like to put themselves in their branding because they are the face of their business, like me. Other people are, I don't want any parts of that. Either not having pictures or using some sort of an AI avatar that is a representation but not necessarily you. I think that works too, right? That's clean. It's got me in it, and it's based on that reference photo. And I didn't have. All right, so those are 3 prompt examples that literally Chris has been gone for like 5 days. His little Orlando amusement park trip. So I got to go pick him up. But I wanted to make sure that I could rock through all of this with you. As you know, inside of the Academy, you'll see under What's New, these new resources. And I'm so very excited about that. So you can simply just go to the Position to Profit message you got, of course. There we go. If you go to, especially if you got an email about today's training, and or if you're watching the replay, you probably see a link somewhere for Position to Profit. This is where it starts. And if you want to unlock the challenge, you can, and or join us inside the Academy, baby. I think I'm trying to figure out where to take you. I have so many different things open. Okay, here we go, inside the Academy. So those who are working on getting better at writing better copy, there's the Right Now. Right Now is a series of prompts that help you with writing your content, writing your marketing materials, writing for relationships, whether they be individual, invitations, pitches, emails. I was sending out a few emails, and man, does that help. Writing for credibility, polishing things that you've already written. I was working with a client. She was like, I had an ebook, and I don't really like how it was written. So working on polishing it, right? These are the current CC copy-related resources inside of Right Now. And then I showed you pictures to post. You have access to Position to Profit. Built to Sell is just that. We're working on you auditing your offer, thinking about the transformation. I love the Opportunity Finder because you all have an opportunity to create amazing things. And this will help you surface the next offer that would be a good fit for you based on the things that you currently are building, teaching, sharing in your business ecosystem. So just wanted to kind of give you a sense of what's in the circle. Those of you in the community who maybe you haven't logged in a few weeks or so, just got to let you know what is in here. Last month we did the Grow Like a Pro video challenge, and I specifically created a lot of video content. And so that one was a fun one. I want to show you, let me see if I can find it real quick. I want to show you one of my latest AI-powered videos. Okay, so this is my Instagram page, right? And can you tell the AI content? I don't know if you can tell, but my last recent videos are like the POV one and this one. This is AI. So my hubby, he said to me, this is scary. You're not scared? Like, wait, that's not our living room. Where are you? What's that? What's going on? He's like, you're not scared? That's not you? So we did short form reels and video content like this last month. This is another one. And just using prompts that I put together to be able to answer a series of questions, and then have the AI create the content for you. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's a game changer. So, like I said, my goal is that you are intentionally working on positioning yourself for profit. Last time we talked about the gap, what is happening right now, what's standing between you and getting paid. Today, the focus is on built to sell offers. What have you built? How are you talking about it with your audience? Is how you're talking about it helping or hurting, and how you can fix that. I would say the next best step for you, baby boo, is to audit at least one of your offers so that you can work on improving the promise. It's clear about the after outcome so that they go, yeah, I know I need that, I want that, I'm going to buy that. Creating at least one teaching asset. I gave you several examples of visuals. I love to see when you guys tag me in them and or send them to me so I can share them with the community so that you are intentionally making offers. Making for me is a combination of literally producing, building the offer, making an offer like you're pitching it. You want to consistently generate 4, 5, 6 figures. You have to consistently work on making offers, both brainstorming them, right, building them, they've been driving since this morning back from Orlando, so he's probably exhausted. Weeks checking in on a weekly basis so that you can work on the different aspects that I want to teach you inside the Position to Profit framework. You can either, number one, join the full Position to Profit 7-day challenge or join us inside of the Academy because as you can see, on a month-by-month basis, I am sharing new resources and support tools to help you work on your money, marketing, and sales goals. You can access the Brainstorm and Build prompts, watch the replays because this is the third in the series for the last 3 weeks. I have been doing these and just complete the projects. My goal is that you are in a place where you have the foundational pieces done and you are intentionally working on selling things online that sell online, right? Where you don't always have to be on, you don't always have to travel, you don't always have to coach, you don't always have to sell a service. Digital offers that help you create a sustainable online business. And essentially, the heart of what I like to share is getting better at building better. For me, that is ultimately the key, right? Yes, 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 with extra S's. Yes, absolutely. So once again, y'all, thank you so much for catching me live and or on the replays side. Just a few of the images that we created on week 1. You can see us bursting out of the breakthrough images, me, Lavon, and Elizabeth. And, of course, hopefully I get to share your awesome photos, too, as we go through all the Pictures to Post prompts inside of the challenge and or separately in the Pictures to Post hub that I have created for you. Ooh, I can do that with the CC prompt? Yes. So these were on day number 1. So, LaShawn, just log into the Academy. Go to day number 1 of the 7-day challenge, and this is the breakout year prompt. I would love to see what you create. So I'm excited for you guys to work on this. Like I said, it's self-paced so that you can kind of dig into each of the days, catch up on all the replays, and I will be adding more solutions for you or just building better versions of the ones that are already in there too. Alrighty, my dears. Thank you so much for catching me live and or on the replays side. I always have to tell you that my slides have been updated with me and my mini-me. Well, she's not my mini-me. She's my little one, right? My little baby. And these are all AI. These are all AI generated. And they don't look like that. If I didn't tell you, you'd probably be like, oh, that's a cute picture of her and friends. No, these are all AI, baby. So I don't believe in just creating pictures for fun. I believe in creating strategic pictures you can turn into posts because it's not just about fun, it's about the funds, right? So strategically and intentionally creating your amazing. Till next time, take care. Mwah. Bye. Perfect timing. Awesome. So glad you can make it today. Bye, y'all.